Hi guys, so today I'm going to tell you about the biggest piece that I will ever have written. Also, it looks like a beautiful day today now, the sun's coming out, so let's go outside and I'll show you a little bit of Ely where I live. Testing 1, 2. Okay, so the plan is I'm going to go into Ely and show you a little bit of Ely, and while I film it for you, I'm also going to tell you about this piece. So this piece I've been commissioned to write, the largest piece I've ever written, is an oratorio for 3 choirs and orchestra. It's going to be about half an hour long, and it's been commissioned by the Worthing Philharmonic Orchestra, who are an orchestra based down in Worthing on the south coast. And the piece is going to be written for the orchestra to play with 2 community adult choirs, the Worthing Choral Society and the Boundstone Chorus, and then a children's choir as well, the Sompting Village Primary School Choir. And the piece won't be performed until 2019, so it's a little way off yet. But I'm doing an initial piece that's going to be a kind of a 5-minute trailer piece, which they're going to perform this October. Okay, so I'm just filming a time-lapse of the cathedral for you guys. So the concept of the piece I'm going to write is that all the texts I'm setting to music are texts which are linked to Worthing in some way. Now, the most famous text of all probably that's linked to Worthing is The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde, which was actually written in Worthing. But apart from The Importance of Being Earnest, there's all sorts of other weird and wonderful texts which are linked to Worthing. For example, some of the first Australian pioneers were a couple of guys called the Henty brothers, and they came from near Worthing. They wrote some curious texts in Australian newspapers about their exploits in Australia with kangaroos and stuff. But apart from that, I'm also going to create my own text linked to Worthing. So I'm going to be going down to Worthing, meeting people, having conversations, learning their stories, and between now and when I finally finish the piece, I will have created a kind of a collage of texts about Worthing. And the idea is that the piece is therefore kind of a mix of documentary and music. Okay, let's go around the other side, because there's some amazing views of the cathedral from the southern side. The reason I'm telling you all this is that it's Thursday now. On Tuesday I went down to Worthing to have a meeting, and I can't tell you much about the meeting. Sometimes this is the case, I'm afraid, but I can't tell you everything that I'm doing. So you might ask, why do I want to write a piece of music that's kind of part music, part documentary? Well, I'm really interested as a composer, I guess, in kind of areas in which art, or music, whatever, can break over into non-art or non-music. There's this idea at the early 20th century that the Dadaists have of making art that is anti-art. The Duchamp urinal is the most famous example. I really like that idea of trying to make art that is anti-art, or trying to make music which is kind of anti-music. And yet, of course, when you try and make anti-art, the danger is that it becomes art again, right? Like the Duchamp's urinal is still in a museum, still being shown as art. Okay, we're getting to the back of the cathedral now. So that's all for today. One of my wonderful subscribers, Chris, has asked me how I wrote the music for my children's opera, and I'm going to answer that in the next vlog. So if you've got any questions, then please do ask them. I will answer every question I get at the moment, and if I can, I'll answer it actually in the vlog. So please do comment down below, and like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!